We're back. Thank you for joining us with Bobby and JJ Radio. If you're just tuning in, we had a really good interview with Andy Tawari. He's a managing partner lawyer with Tawari & Bell. It's a law firm here in Helotes, Texas, outside of Van Daren 1604. They have a law firm out there. We're going to now talk with Adam Hetrick, which is the main man with the Credit Repair Men. He has a different credit repair type situation in his company.
This one really works.
This one really works. It's not like the law firms where they subscribe you for months and drag you along and do one thing a month. He actually makes you, he gets you in and out, and he only makes you pay for results, the results that him and his firm gets for you. Now, he used to be a loan officer, so he definitely knows what people need as far as mortgage loans and regular credit. And he's helped over 2,100 families since 2011. That's crazy. So, Adam, people talk about identity theft all the time. Tell us exactly what it is.
Okay, so identity theft is a lot bigger than what most people think. It's the acquisition and use of someone's personal, private identifying information.
Okay.
So most people think it's like they conjure up images of somebody sitting behind a computer trying to hack your information.
That's what I picture.
And yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or on the old was people digging through your trash and looking at those pre-approved credit card offers that you throw away.
Is that what you're doing every night?
I get hungry.
Oh, okay.
And sending them in. So those are both examples of identity theft.
Right.
But it can actually be broken up into several other categories. So there's financial crimes.
Sure.
Then there's medical identity theft.
Right.
That we just talked about. And then even income tax and work identity theft.
Someone wants to pay my taxes for me?
Yeah. That's exactly what they want to do.
Cool.
So I've seen it help people. I've seen or help people with issues that range anywhere from getting their email accounts or Facebook's hacked to somebody getting their bank account drained. I've seen instances where people are applying for credit in somebody else's name, to even where somebody's using somebody else's social security number to work or to be in the country.
Wow.
That'd be very easy to track. Then, it's easy to find them at work. How do you get away with that?
The people, they don't keep these jobs for a long time. And so they get paid like a 1099 employee. They don't pay taxes on it, and you get a bill from Uncle Sam at the end of the year.
Makes sense.
I've even spoken with individuals who've had somebody file their taxes for them and collect their returns.
Oh, okay.
So you think you're getting money and you're not. Or somebody gets a large medical bill for a procedure for something that they've never gotten done, and that follows them on their credit, and all of this pales in comparison to when somebody commits a crime and uses somebody else's name and information when they're caught by the police. So I've actually met somebody who had a criminal record, who had never had anything like that happen.
But someone's just been sporting their ID somewhere.
Exactly.
So how many people do you think are affected each year?
The number of people affected, it's really, really scary because you see so much of an increase. So in 2012, there were 13 million documented cases.
Right.
In 2013, Target had a data breach where 110 million people had their information stolen.
And then we just got that thing from Home Depot. I actually renovated one of my properties, and I got an email. If you used a credit card in between, I think it was April through September at Home Depot, they're actually paying for credit identity theft protection for everyone. And so my wife signed up, and I was like, I know Adam Hetrick. Why are you doing that? It's crazy.
You renovated your porta potty?
Yeah, it was. It's real nice now. It's 2-story. It's a trickle down economic. Okay.
3 rolls of toilet paper
three
in there.
Rolls. You're never out. It pops up.
Yeah.
It's
wow.
crazy.
That sounds nice.
It's the best half bath you'll ever see. So why should people be worried about this identity theft stuff?
Because it's everywhere and it's so rampant. If you add up Home Depot and Target,
just that alone,
that's half of America.
Right.
That's 150 million people between those two instances had their identification stolen. And it's not just about credit. I mean, you can get it taken off your credit report, but can you get it taken off of your medical your medical records and out of your police report and everywhere? And so most people don't realize they're a victim until so far down the road, and they've been suffering from it for months and years and had no idea.
Yeah, indirectly.
So how does it, or how can identity theft affect me?
Because it happens so often and you don't know, you get unfavorable terms with your credit that you're doing. Most people are overpaying for things in their life because they don't realize that something happened and there's something on their credit report that shouldn't be. So instead of getting the 2% car loan, you take the 10% and just think that that's where the market is.
Or the 20. We were talking about 20% interest rates, which is insane.
Is that why you got a 20%?
Yeah, that's why. I didn't talk to that.
We need to talk after this.
No. You need to pay your bills.
I know. That might happen too. That might help. But not only that, you can go into like what kind of job you have, right?
Exactly, because your credit is so much more than just buying a home or a car. They're checking your credit to see if you qualify to do anything in finance, insurance, working at banks. And if you've been a victim of identity theft, you can still have things that are lingering that you might not even see on your credit report, but your employer checks multiple sources when they do background checks, and they'll find it, and it can bubble up and give you a lot of problems.
Yeah, so it's where you live, it's where you work, it's what interest rate you can have, what credit you can take out. I mean, it affects every aspect of life.
Every aspect.
So I've heard of people saying that they got stuff on the credit report that's getting paid. How does that work, or what is this?
Yeah, can they do that for me or no?
I wish, right? I can just have somebody else pay my bills on my credit report. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
So what that is and it's actually really common. It's called a mixed merge file. And so somebody else's credit stuff will show up on your credit report.
Right.
We typically see it with like juniors or seniors or people that have really common names like Bobby Cortez. But it can happen to anyone. The creditors or the credit bureaus, their customers are the creditors. So you're not their customers.
Right.
And they only require their customers to report information, but they don't require them to report any specific information. So if you have the same name and say you live in the same zip code as somebody, or juniors and seniors, there's a higher probability that you're going to be a victim of like a merge file and just have somebody else's stuff on your report.
Right.
How can you fix this?
Persistence. Instances when this happens, it can actually be tougher to get this taken care of than if you're a bona fide victim of identity theft or somebody opened up a bunch of accounts in your name, because there's more of a track record and there's more people involved. But with this, it's just basically a problem between you and the credit bureau, and it doesn't get the publicity. You hear people talk about identity theft all the time, so it gets a lot of publicity.
Right.
So when you start saying that, it means something. Where these mixed merge files, nobody cares but you.
Yeah, my dad, and my son share the same name, right? The only difference between is first, second, and third. Well, no first, just second and third. So I've now got some stuff that I've taken off that was my dad's. I can't wait to leave this burden on my son. I'm just kidding. Like right before.
That's why your car's at 20%.
Yeah,
right
before he turns 18, I'm just gonna stop paying bills.
Surprise!
Yeah, happy birthday. So if you're just joining us, we're talking with Adam Hetrick, which is the owner and the boss. I'm just kidding. Of the Credit Repairman, which is a credit repair company here in San Antonio. Adam, I know there's a lot of security breaches, like with Home Depot and Target. Do you think that this is going to be something that's going to affect more people than they know? I mean, now that it's all coming out from these different companies, do you think people should take it a little bit more serious? Someone that doesn't check their credit all the time, they should maybe just look it up just in case.
Definitely. I mean, because we're talking about the span of 12 months and 150 million people had their information stolen within the last year. So the numbers are just so staggering.
Right.
Out there that everybody needs to be aware,
and
know what to do if you either are a victim or you feel that
you may be
that you could be a victim.
Sure. So what's the best thing for them to do, you think?
The first thing is to check your credit and see what's going on with it. Look at your records and see if you've shopped at those stores that have had the issues.
Right.
When the Target thing first happened, they said that the people were debiting a $10 charge out of people's accounts.
I'll never notice that.
That's the whole point. If they took 40 million credit cards and they charge everybody $10,
you could do that to me for months and I wouldn't even notice.
Exactly.
Well, they couldn't do it to you because all your
I only have 20
all your
bucks
credit cards are maxed out.
They can do it to me twice.
No, it'd be maxed. It's already maxed out. You can't go over.
That's true. Yeah.
But that's $400 million if they get $10 out of everybody, and
that's like almost the definition of nickel and diamond, right?
Yeah, and nobody knows. You see like a $10 charge, and you think like, oh, that was probably my wife bought something. Yeah. Like I'm not going to ask her what a $10 charge is, but if it's a couple $100, then it might answer some questions.
Well, most couples have this this ceiling where they're like, you don't have to ask each other about anything unless it's 50 or 100 or 100. Every couple that I know that's been married for a while, they have a rule. Like, what's your rule? And I've seen 50. I'm like, 50 is kind of low, dude. Like, but 50 or 100 or 150, you don't have to like ask your partner, can I get this? Because then you kind of feel like you're more of a ball and chain than you actually are, right? So
I don't have a ball and chain.
No, you don't. So,
but I'm glad that I'm going to tell Carla that you're putting her in that
Carla,
category.
I'm telling everyone. It's on the radio. I can't stop it now. So if you're just joining us, we're talking with Adam Hetrick with the Credit Repairman. We're going to take a quick break because we have a segment every week named Ask Mr. Credit, and we have Mr. Credit in the house right now, but we also always are going to ask Mr. Credit the most important questions as far as credit and how to keep your credit up to date. If you need to get a hold of us or Adam, you can always go to his website. He's a show partner at BobbyandJJRadio.com. Look us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Bobby and JJ Radio, anything but MySpace. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with some news and some more Adam Hetrick here.